Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my favorite natural slash no makeup, I guess if you want to call this look. This is the look that I do when I want to have a very fresh looking face, kind of like that no makeup look, but I do want to incorporate foundation and I still want to make my skin look flawless, so this technically isn't no makeup, but it still is very fresh and natural looking. I actually did this look in one of my other videos. It was the soap brow videos. Once I did all of my makeup, that final look is what I'm going to be recreating today. So if you would like to see how I do that, then just keep on watching. Okay, so the look that I'm going to be showing you guys today, I do incorporate foundation. However, with a lot of this stuff that I am doing, I will do this without foundation. So if you are someone that doesn't like foundation or you want to skip that part, you definitely can. So the first product that I'm going to be going in with is this Glam Glow. This is the Glow Star Mega Illuminating Moisturizer. And I absolutely love this stuff. I've been using it for years. It's basically just a moisturizer and it smells like Starburst, like the candy, and it has like a iridescent glow to it. So I'll just put a little bit of this on my face, and I have already gone ahead and washed and moisturized my skin, but I just like to put this on as well, especially if I'm not wearing foundation. This just looks so pretty on the skin like by itself, and it gives like this like plumpness and this like radiance to the skin. So this is one of my favorite products. Next, I am going to be going in with a little bit of foundation. If you don't want to, like I said before, you can totally skip this step, but I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow in the shade 202. Almost out! I really like this foundation because it's a very lightweight and light coverage foundation, but it still gives a nice glow to the skin. So it's kind of like, I would equate it to like a tinted moisturizer in a way, because it does have very light coverage. So if you have a tinted moisturizer that you love, you can do that as well. But this is just what I prefer to go in with because I really like the way that it sits on my skin. I like the way that it makes my skin look in the end. So I just go in with a very thin layer of this. That is it for foundation. Now we are going to jump in with some concealer. I'm going to be using two. I'm going to first go in with the Becca Aqua Luminous, and this is in the shade Porcelain, which was the lightest one, and it's still pretty dark for me, so that's why I like to mix it with the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define, and this I use in the shade C1. I like these two together specifically because I feel like the Becca Aqua Luminous gives really good hydration. It doesn't dry out my under eyes, but it does crease, so that's why I like to go in with a little bit more of a higher coverage concealer that's a little bit more matte to prevent the creasing, because I don't normally set my under eyes when I do this. So I'm just first going to go in with a little bit of the Becca, and I don't use a lot of either of these. Especially if I skip the foundation part, I'll just go in with these concealers and I won't set it. And then I'll also do like around my nose. And that's it. Then going in with the Makeup Revolution, and we're just gonna do a little bit right on top. So I just use a very, very small amount of concealer, and as you can see, I didn't put it on my forehead or my nose or any other parts of my face because we want to keep this very fresh, simple, and natural looking. So the less you go in with, the more natural it will look, obviously. And then basically once I have no product left on my sponge, I will go over just a little bit on my eyelids, just because I personally don't like how veiny they are, and they are a little discolored like everyone's eyelids are. So, but I don't want to cover that up completely. I do still want it to shine through a little bit, so I'll just go over really gently and tap once there's basically nothing left on the sponge. Okay, for the next step, I am going to go in with just a little bit of bronzer just to kind of warm this skin up and make it so it's not so one-dimensional and flat. So I'm just taking a little bit of my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer on this big bronzer brush, and I'm basically just sweeping it everywhere just to give my skin a little bit of a bronze. But I'm going in very light-handed with this. I'm not going in with how much I normally would if I were wearing like a full face or a full coverage foundation or anything like that. Alright, and that is it for bronzer. Now we're going to move on to brows. So the first step I'm actually going to do is gel my brows. I'm using the Benefit Cosmetics. This is the 24-hour brow setter. I absolutely love this gel. And I'm just combing my hairs up. I want them to look nice and bushy. If I don't wear any foundation, then I don't do anything to my brows besides put a little bit of gel in them. However, I feel like when I have foundation on, I need to do like a little something to them. So I'm going to show you that once I'm done with this. So once the gel has dried down a little bit, I will go in with the spoolie and just kind of push the hairs up a little bit more, just to really give them the shape what I want. Once that's dried down a little bit, I will actually go in with a brow pencil. This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow, and I am in the shade 3.5, and I'll just kind of go in and very lightly just pencil in a little bit, just to give it a little bit more shape and make it look a little bit more full and fluffy. But I don't go heavy-handed on this at all. So as you can see, it really doesn't do a whole lot, but it does just make them look a lot fuller. You can see this side is done, this side is not done. However, this is my fuller brow, so this one is gonna look fuller anyway. But so I just go in with very small strokes and just kind of fill in the spots that I feel like need a little bit of love. All right, so brows are done. So just went in and filled them very, very lightly, super quick, super easy. And now what I am going to do is carve them out with a little bit of concealer just to give a little bit more definition and shape to them. I feel like this makes a really big difference versus taking the time to actually go in and fill them and carve them out, like with a pencil or with my dip brow. I feel like just doing it with concealer still gives the same effect, but with keeping the brows nice and wispy and natural looking. So I am going in with the Makeup Revolution concealer for this one. Just like that. See, I feel like doing that just alone really gives a nice shape and definition to the brows. I feel like it's a step that I can never miss in my routine, even when I'm doing something really natural like this. And voila, brows are done. Okay, so now what we are going to do is add in a couple of fake freckles. I really like to do this when I'm doing a more natural, no makeup look, just because I do naturally have a lot of freckles and I love my freckles. So what I'll do is go in and just enhance the freckles that I already have. So to do that, I will use a combination of a brow pencil and then just a brown eyeshadow. So I'll first go in with my pencil and just lightly go over, and they're gonna look a little bit intense now, but we'll go over them later. This is why we're doing this first before we finish the rest of the face. So I'll just go and kind of enhance the ones I already have. Just basically all over my face. I'm just doing various amounts of pressure and sizes. And I have this little guy down here, so we're gonna turn him into a freckle. And then what I'll do is go in with a brown eyeshadow and just a little liner brush and go in and very lightly just kind of add some variation. All right, now that we're looking crazy, what we're gonna do is go back in with our sponge and go over everything. This really just kind of tones everything down. Makes it look much more realistic. And then once we have everything else done on our face, it will look super natural and super realistic. Okay, so let's go finish that. What I like to do is keep my cheek area very blushy and radiant and just looking very fresh. So the first thing that I'll do is go in with a blush. This is the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso. And what I'll do is take a brush like this that's a little bit lighter and disperses the product, not as heavy. I'll go in and just lightly dust this all over my cheeks, and I do bring it pretty much everywhere. I mix it into the bronzer and even bring it onto my cheekbone. And then what I do is I go in with the Jeffree Star Skin Frost in the shade Peach Goddess, and I'll go in with that same brush, and I'll basically do the exact same thing and use this as like a little blush topper. And then what I do to highlight the rest of my face is go in with my Lancome Absolute powder, and this is in the shade Absolue Peach, and lightly highlight everything else. And then I will go ahead and give my lashes a good curl. And then I will set my face. For looks like this, I like to use my MAC Fix Plus. This is the gold light one, so it has little like flecks of gold in it. And then once you spray it on your face in the sunlight, it just looks very like glittery and radiant. So I like to use it when I'm doing looks like this. And then last but not least, I will do my lips. So for my lips, what I like to do is this is a SmashBox LA Lights blendable lip and cheek color. I don't even know if they sell this anymore. That's how old this is, but this is one of my favorite products. It is basically just a cream highlight. Any cream highlight you have will do. If I don't do foundation, this is what I will put on my skin and then go in with everything else, just so it has something to stick to. But what I also like to use this for is actually I put it on my lips. I don't know, I just feel like it gives them this nice sheen. And then I'll go in with a chapstick. This is my favorite, the Kopari Lip Glossy. right on top. And that is it for this look. Alrighty guys, and that is it for this look. This is probably the shortest video on my channel because this literally takes me under 5 minutes to do. And if you don't do the foundation, it takes even less time. This is one of my favorite go-to looks, and honestly what I wear probably like 90% of the time. If I do even feel like putting on makeup for the day, this is what I'll do, especially if I'm not leaving the house or if I'm only leaving the house for like a couple errands or something like that and I just don't want to go out looking totally homeless, then I will do this. But yeah guys, that is it for this video. If you liked it, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more videos every week. If you guys liked this look, then give me a comment down below. Tell me what you want to see from me. I would absolutely love to hear and love to say hi to you guys. And that is it, and I will see you in my next one. Mwah! Bye!